starting my slideshow. Lydia, how is my slides? Can you see my slides?
Everything looks good here, Sveta.
Okay, fantastic. So welcome LifeVantage. Again, it is such an honor and it's a privilege to talk about probably two favorite subjects of mine. It is mitochondria and essential fatty acids. It is interesting that the promotion calls flip the heart healthy switch. I don't know, I probably will expand it to flip the heart and brain healthy switch. So let's start with our mitochondria. I would like to start with this funny quote that I found today on the kids' website. Sometimes when I am tired, I think of all the mitochondria in my body trying to power me, and it gives me the strength to get up. Mitochondria. Sometimes I call myself a mitochondria because I am fascinated by this organelle. Just tell you guys, I am a cell doctor, so my main interest is what's in the cell and how does the healthy cell performs. What do we do? To me, mitochondria actually, with no offending other components of the cells, is the most important part of the cell. Because simply speaking, if mitochondria in the cell cease to exist, the cell ceases to exist. It is as simple as that. So what we see here is mitochondria are the principal energy source of the cell. And what does it do? This is important. First of all, we eat. We get our nutrients from food. Then our healthy body, our healthy cells convert that food into the nutrients and pack them into the mitochondria. Mitochondria takes those nutrients, combines them with oxygen that we breathe, and give us energy for us to live. So mitochondria are organelles primarily responsible for the generation of energy, which is called cellular energy, is simply called ATP. And let's leave it at this and we'll call it energy. Now, interesting, look at this. In the process of making energy, mitochondria makes free radicals. And all of us know, and if we don't, so then we're newbies on this call. So welcome all the new people and gratitude to everyone who invited you. So free radicals is normal unless it's way, way too many. And mitochondria has the genius apparatus. How to clean it, we're not going to discuss it, but what I'm going to say is again and again, NRF1 activation, because mitochondria to clean free radicals is going to optimize its own superoxide dismutase. It's going to optimize its own glutathione. So again, go back and look at your NRF2 activation. Now we're going to discuss later the mitochondrial theory of aging. The number of mitochondria is so important. And I gave you an example. Look at this. One nerve cell in a brain part, you can look it up what substantia nigra does for our mobility. One nerve cell is estimated to have at least 2 million mitochondria per cell. And now my clicker is not clicking. So mitochondria and mitochondrial theory of aging. We need to understand mitochondria are very fragile. We need to take, they're like canary in a coal mine. We really, really need to pay attention to them, and we really need to keep them healthy. So let's think of one of the theories of aging. Again, it resides on the notion. I already mentioned to you that cells contain multitude of mitochondria. In the brain, over 2 million. Let's say heart cell, heart muscle cell, or liver cell, they contain over hundreds of thousands of mitochondria. What happens with aging? The number goes down, and not only the number goes down, the function of those mitochondria go down. And again, the function of mitochondria is not necessarily reside on giving us energy. Mitochondria actually controls our DNA. So again, so for us to take care of the numbers and to take care of the function of those mitochondria, look at this part of the slide. In humans, energy producing capacity decreases by 8% per decade. Similarly, elderly people were found to have 1.5-fold reduction in free radical production per mitochondrial volume and 1.5-fold reduction per muscle volume. Important? I would say very important. So how do we sustain the function and how do we maintain the numbers? Maintaining the numbers is called mitochondrial biogenesis. Now, the beauty of mitochondria is that we can make the new ones, but the old ones actually can divide. We just need to make sure that the ones that divide are also healthy. NRF1 or NRF1 protein complex is a key regulator of, I will explain, nuclear encoded genes involved in mitochondrial biogenesis. Now, NRF1 is not end all and be all of the mitochondrial biogenesis regulation. There are a few of them. It's one of the keys, and I will show you the others. Now, what does that mean, key regulator? So we have a set of genes in our DNA. They're called mitochondrial genes. So NRF1 protein complex turns on those mitochondrial genes in our nucleus. So then when those genes are stimulated, then they give the signals to make new mitochondria. Very important, because not to confuse you, the importance of mitochondria is not only it is regulated by our DNA, but it also has its own DNA, which we absolutely need to keep healthy. Now look at this. NRF1 together with, surprise, surprise, NRF2 mediates the big words, biogenomic coordination. Simply speaking, the crosstalk between NRF2 protein complex, our foundation of cellular health, and NRF1 protein complex regulate that activation of nuclear mitochondrial DNA and mitochondrial function. So important. Now, NRF1 is a very, very important protein complex. It not only regulates mitochondrial biogenesis, but look, it regulates cellular growth. It activates our genes required for respiration or breathing. It upregulates heme biosynthesis. We already spoken about NRF1 mitochondrial DNA transcription and replication, and NRF1 is associated with regulation of our nerve cell growth. NRF1 pretandem. Does it increase cellular energy? It does, I'll show you. It improves performance through energy production, of course. If you have more energy, you're more active. It helps with our rest and our circadian rhythm. And it stimulates the NRF1 pathway for mitochondrial production, NRF1 pretandem. So what am I going to dive in? I love the composition of NRF1 pretandem because to me, it accomplishes two major functions. A, it upregulates NRF1 protein complex. But B, and I will show you later, every ingredient in NRF1 pretandem formulation is a part of the mitochondrial function, of that mitochondrial metabolism that ultimately is going to give us energy, is going to give us that ATP. What are the components of NRF1 pretandem? I'm sure you know coenzyme Q10. Amazing stuff. It is naturally occurring, fat soluble, which is synthesized by us and by plants. I will show you later, but look, it is an essential carrier of electrons in the end production of mitochondrial energy or cellular energy. Now, its supplementation ameliorates inflammatory signaling and oxidative stress, ding, 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 associated with strenuous exercise, and published data of preclinical and clinical safety studies shows how safe it is. And this is, again, this is mantra behind our products, the safety. So now from CoQ10, we're going into grape extract. Now it is from the whole fruit, from the whole red grape, the seed, the skin, and the pulp. I'm not talking about red wine. For you winos, it's for the whole thing. It contains powerful natural polyphenols, antioxidants. It increases heart microcirculation by improving the lining of those vessels. Alpha lipoic acid, beautiful alpha lipoic acid, which is found in the diet, thanks God. Well, predominantly in animal products, however, in fruits and vegetables, very important for me because I am a vegan. Again, my supplementation is critical because it's to a lesser degree. And it functions as a cofactor to enzymes. It is a potent antioxidant. Very important for me to show this part of the slide. It helps with conversion of thyroid hormone T4 into most active thyroid hormone T3. It is found to be safe, people. Next one, lovely quercetin. Again, it's a flavonoid known to have cellular protective capabilities. It is an antioxidant. It can modulate mitochondrial biogenesis, reducing oxidative stress. It is neuroactive. It has been shown to enhance mitochondrial biogenesis in muscle and the brain, and supports prolonged exercise activity. The last one, acetyl L-carnitine. I had to study this. The supplementation with acetyl carnitine restores age-related decrease in mitochondrial content and function and reverses the defective reaction of aged mitochondria. How important it is. Very, very complicated statement. It produces amino acid that is naturally produced in the body, and it is part of different proteins and enzymes. Now, what I told you is, so let's recap. NRF1, CoQ10, grape extract, alpha-lipoic, quercetin, acetyl-L-carnitine. I told you. So now let's find all these fives in the function or multiple biochemical reactions or electron chain reactions into the final aspect that gives us energy production. So in this column, you will find the grape extract, you will find quercetin, and you will find coenzyme Q10. But what I want to show you that without those, you see what is going to be affected? This guy, I'm sure you've heard of it once or twice. It's our famous NAD. So everything is crosstalk and intertwined and synergistic. So we mentioned CoQ10. We didn't mention CoQ10. We mentioned grape, and we mentioned quercetin. CoQ10. CoQ10 is right here between those two and somewhere else. So important, it's right here. So again, we need it. Let's go into alpha-lipoic acid, alpha-lipoic acid, alpha-lipoic acid, alpha-lipoic acid. So without this alpha-lipoic acid, those reactions are not going to happen. There will not be an end production of energy into the cell. L-carnitine, acetyl-L-carnitine, it's a part of the mitochondrial membrane, as you hear, and also a part of multiple reactions as well. This is what I want to tell you now. NRF1, I told you about duality. So the NRF1 precandum is great. Now, NRF1 boost. So I mentioned to you previously that NRF1 protein is a key regulator of mitochondrial biogenesis, and I told you it's not end-all and be-all. There are other factors, we're not going to describe them, but so this is LifeVantage study comparing and validating that there is an NRF1 upregulation with NRF1 precandum. So these are a different mitochondrial biogenesis complex, but we're only looking at this, at the red column. So as you see, when you obtain NRF1 precandum in 6 hours, there is 60% increase of your NRF1. Awesome. Now, is it safe? Absolutely, it is safe, because we always talk about the pulsatile up-down manner of our products. And look at this, in 24 hours, your level of NRF1 returns to normal. So this is my excitement about our NRF1 precandum. It does what it's supposed to do. It ultimately gives me the numbers and gives me the function of mighty mitochondria. I'm very excited to talk to you about omegas. Because, guys, look at this. The most important part here, look, essential fatty acid means, essential means we don't make them. We need to obtain them. For me, it's very exciting to talk about fish oils because I'm a vegan. And I'm a vegan for many, many years. And I'll tell you, I get my plant-based omegas in plenty way. I eat my chias and a flax and a hemp now. But as a vegan, as a Russian, I play a Russian roulette. Vegans hardly ever convert plant-based omega fatty acids into these guys, into, sorry about that, into DHA and EPA. This to me has to be fish-based. This you can get from the plants. Now, look at this. Omega-3 fatty acids affect huge numbers of genes that reverse changes in our metabolic profile in our transcriptome, proteins, genes that can improve reduction of this free radical, can improve mitochondrial health, can increase our mitochondrial numbers and take care of some genes. In fact, in specific studies, omega-6 fats changed expression of 610 genes in men and 250 genes in women. Now, let's talk about those famous EPA and DHA. Look, EPA and DHA are found in highest quantities in marine sources, such as fish oils, such as mostly fatty, cold fish oils. Ding, ding, ding. Where are our omegas coming from? They come from cod-like species from cold Atlantic waters. Look, EPA has been well studied as a powerful contributor to the cardiovascular system. It has also been shown to improve and stabilize mood and improve mobility. DHA protects the brain and improves memory and is especially important for brain development in kids. As a Russian, I grew up with my mother bringing me fish oils every day in a tablespoon or dessert spoon. The brain is made mostly of an omega-3 fatty acids called DHA and contain the highest concentration in the body of DHA. Furthermore, in the brain, the areas that are related to the memory have the highest concentration of DHA. DHA helps to stimulate physical changes that underlie learning and memory by promoting the growth of nerve cells and promoting the communication between those cells, which is called synapse, and aids those membranes, the cell protectors, to preserve their fluidity. They have to be flexible to communicate and sustain that memory. DHA has an anti-stress effect. Now, our omegas contain vitamin D. We all know about vitamin D and calcium in bones. There's a whole lot more to this. And this, to me, again, guys, in LifeVantage, we teach you bundles. Why? Well, look at this. Vitamin D affects microbiota composition and the gut barrier. We need probiotics, right? Vitamin D is also a potent antioxidant and decreases free radicals. Somebody thinking of NRF2 activation? It facilitates balanced mitochondrial activities, preventing oxidative stress-related protein oxidation, rancidation or peroxidation of fats, and DNA damage. And we just covered NRF1 activation of mitochondrial biogenesis and mitochondrial health. Now, vitamin D increases production of the master antioxidant glutathione. So again, you start looking at the complex and the synergy of what we have available. Vitamin D aids in healthy and graceful aging process. Another study shows that low vitamin D status was associated with decreased capacity of multiple aspects of our memory, particularly in females. Vitamin D is extremely important in our process of thinking. So guys, before I get to my last quote, I like LifeVantage. Well, I'm a person that needs to know why, needs to see how simple and how clean the products are. I already told you, let's say I'm a vegan, food quality is paramount to me. So talking about our products, how simple they are and how clean they are. I already mentioned 5 ingredients in that synergy in NRF1 per tandem. Now, let's think of our omegas. What I have discovered lately, I mentioned to you that the fish catch happens in cold Norwegian Atlantic Ocean waters in a certain period of time of the year. But what happens is when they catch that fish, the fish is not rotting or something. In the first 6 hours, that fish is processed and the oils are extracted. That's why our product is so clean and so yummy tasting. And after that 6 hours, the product is shipped for some purification. So amazingly clean. So I would like to finish with a quote. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Thank you, Madam Mary Curie. Thank you very much. And thank you for the, again, thank you for the opportunity to share a part of my knowledge with all of you.